I'm going to show you how to make pie crust. First of all, I have 1 cup of Crisco, solidly packed. I have 1 cup of water, cold water from the tap, the coldest water from the tap. And this is going to be the flour. And I take the flour and do a dip method where I dip in, get it. Do not tap the cup. Just let it fill naturally. And you overfill it and then scrape along the top. Make it level. Do not use a glass cup measurement. Use a 1 cup so that you don't get too much flour. So 2 cups of flour go in the bowl. And while I'm doing that, I'm also letting flour fall down onto the counter because I'm going to use it. Next, I take the Crisco and I put it into the bowl. And break it all out. And of course, drop it. And then I take my crusty little dough cutter and I use it to process the dough into pieces. And it takes a few minutes and it's sloppy sometimes. And you go like that at other times. If you do not have one of these, you can use 2 knives and do it in a cutting motion, which is what I used before I had these. And it'll take me just a minute to get it all broken up. And the more you break it up, the better it is, because then you're getting the Crisco divided out better than and not have lumps of it. Okay. Now this is what, more or less, this is what it looks like when you're done with that part. You see the little broken clumps of Crisco in amongst the flour. Next, I take the water and I do not pour the whole cup in. I pour about 2/3 of it. And then I mix it like you would mix bread. And as I mix it, it needs to feel moist, but not wet. Sometimes I don't use the whole cup. It just depends on the feeling of the dough. Sometimes it's drier. When I made pies the other day, I added more water because the dough felt dry. Now, I will take and put the dough out onto the bar to work it. Here's where I add more flour to the bar. And I take a little spatula that I have that works really well to scrape all of the dough together. And once I do that, then I just take it and set it out here onto the bar. This is the very important part. You fold it in on itself. And you do not work it as much as you would bread. Okay, I've done 2 and 2 and turned. Now I do 1 and cut it. And that's about all I'll do. Then put half of it back. Take this, fold it under like it was a bread dough, pat it, and roll it out. And you can roll it any way that you roll your crust. I usually take mine so that it goes back and forth. This is how Mom taught me. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and widen it, and widen it. And roll it. That's it. Then I just go like this, make sure I've got it big enough to fit on the pie pan. Fold it in half and roll it in there. And you're done. You've done your pie crust. If I'm doing a crust for a cream pie, I make sure that I push a little bit of the dough so it goes down in there, because it's going to shrink in the oven anyway. So by doing that, you're taking the dough, and the shrinkage won't be quite as bad because you're pushing it down in there. Then you just do your little thumb thing. I forgot my knife, so I'll just use this to cut it with. And you're just about done here. And I'll go around like this. And then you take a fork and you spear the fork in the dough, give it air. And however you want to do that, just quick and easy. And then you put it in. Now, if you're doing a pie like apple or pumpkin, you wouldn't spear it with the fork, and you don't do this until you're ready to put the pie filling in. If you're doing a apple pie or others, you don't do any of this. You roll out your top piece, put it on, and then do that and cut it. And that's it.